Hey everybody, it's time for another short narration intro video to a much larger webcam video, which will be in the description box below. And as you can see by the title, this is a video I've been wanting to make. For several days now, but just kept putting it off and on. Because for various reasons. But as you can see by the title, this is my salute and praise of real life superheroes. And when I say real life superheroes, I am talking about any form of vigilante, not just costume based characters like you see right here in the picture, but any form of neighborhood watch group and charity. I'm talking about, believe it or not, I'm talking about two to three distinct different people. And that's, of course, number one is the actual real life superheroes, and that's the guys you see right here in the costumes, and of course the other group of people who are not affiliated with any of these guys right here, but I consider them also real life superheroes. Not all superheroes wear capes, tights, armor, or some kind of costume. These guys, as you can see by the picture right here, these are child predator and pedophile hunters, catchers. These guys actually do more with what they do. They do more superhero work than these costume people do or have done. And that's predator poachers and the CC unit. Both of these are child predator and pedophile quote unquote catchers. These are who I will be quote unquote talking about in this short narration and in a much larger webcam version on my Super Vader 400 channel, which the link will be in the description box below. The webcam version as always has the narration intro, has the intro, and quote unquote outro. But yeah, that's of course the real life superheroes. I've always wanted to be and still want to be a real life superhero, or for my case it would be vigilante. I remember in 2007 and 8 when I was in high school, actually in 2007 and early 2008 when I was in high school, I remember reading about the real life superheroes. And don't remember much from what I read, but I remember thinking it was the coolest thing ever. The only one I remember reading about was one involving a luchador, a guy dressed as a Mexican wrestler, chasing a naked guy who streaked and jumped into a ball game, and chased him off the field. That's the only one I remember reading about. But I remember always wanting to quote unquote do this. But these guys were actual real life superheroes actually doing stuff. Me on the other hand, I have multiple costumes and several stick like weapons, but haven't done really anything superhero other than helping people, other than a couple of good deeds here and there. Actually, with all of my trolling and fighting online, you've actually been more of a villain and a vigilante than an actual superhero, But me, I'm just an actor. I'm basically just been an actor, rock star, basically a cosplayer. But with this new job I want, and that of course then later I became reinterested in the real life superheroes with the whole EDP caught in 4K, when the popular YouTube user EDP Eat That Pussy 445 was caught in 4K trying to meet up with a 13-year-old for sex. And like I said in my EDP rant video, the people who exposed them, they run their own YouTube, Facebook channels, and websites where they feature where they pose online as minors, and lure child predators to their chat with them, then meet with that then drive all the way out to meet with that said child predator, and they either talk it over, they'll either talk it over and get the child predator to never do it again, or depending on the circumstance, my favorite part, they call the police. They quote unquote call the quote unquote 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 police. Now, unlike the real life superheroes, these guys don't have quote unquote, as you can see by the picture here, don't have costumes. They have specific outfits that you will instantly recognize them. You got the guy with the shades, the Hispanic. He's always wearing basically what street clothes, hip hop attire. Then you got the controversial one, Alex Rosen, the tall white guy, the tall ginger white guy with the beard. He's basically a grown man dressed like a 12-year-old because they don't make pants in his quote unquote size. They don't make pants in his quote unquote size. He's always wearing a t-shirt or a tank top or a sleeveless tank top, a sleeveless shirt, or in trunks, socks and footwear, quote unquote footwear. The other guy, CC Unit, one of the more notable ones, CC Unit who runs his own, who has his own group, but he occasionally works with the other group, Predator Poachers, or PP Mass. They have various names and various groups all over the country, basically. CC Unit wears a quote unquote CC Unit wears street clothes, appears to be a Jewish guy with a Jew fro, wears street clothes with a COVID mask, with a quote unquote COVID mask, and his website has logos similar to the V character from V for Vendetta. Sorry about that. So yeah, they don't have costumes, but they have outfits that you instantly recognize them, and instantly quote unquote recognize them. And like I said, they do more superhero work than the actual superheroes, the actual quote unquote real life superheroes, and they inspire me. I want to be a predator, a child predator and pedophile catcher through this new job and endeavor, which is the job I'm most excited for. This job for once gives me the reason to patrol the streets in a costume, to patrol the streets in a costume and fight crime. I don't have the muscle power, security, or quote unquote backup or weaponry to deal with actual criminals unless they come my way. So I got to start off with pedophiles. This new child predator allows me to go around stopping, busting, and if necessary, beating down quote unquote pedophiles. It's finally a job that actually gives me a legitimate reason to actually walk around, a job and activity, a legitimate reason to actually walk around being a vigilante and legitimately fighting crime, fighting quote unquote crime. And and I watch their episodes all the time. The links to their channels will also be in the description box below of both quote unquote videos for those of you who want to see what I'm talking about. Now, for the other group of people, the real life superheroes, here they are again. You see all of them. They all have their own cool type of gimmick and name. I don't remember each by name. I've watched the top 10 superheroes, the top 10 real life superheroes list, both part 1 and 2, multiple times, and both links will be in the description box of both of these videos, my Doug8798 channel and my Super Beta 400, for those of you who want to see. I've watched the video many times and I still can't remember all their names or quote unquote gimmick, but as you can see here, everyone has their gimmick. I think all of them are badass. I like them all. With my favorite and best, these are in my opinion the two favorite and best heroes and gimmicks, and that's number 1. You can see him in the bottom right side in the in the red and yellow, in the quote unquote red and yellow. He's just simply known as superhero. He was once he was once a pro wrestler. He was once a pro wrestler. Then, when his career ended, decided to don the tights and patrol the streets. He does charity by helping clean up and stares down and prevents stares down drug dealers and prevents drug deals. That's what he does. Then the other guy, the quote unquote Crimson Fist, who reminds me, this guy reminds me of One Punch Man. Punch Man. This guy also focused himself on charity, helping people in need. But there was one occasion, there was one occasion where he did have to beat up, where he did save a man's life who was being mugged, who was being mugged and beaten up by two other quote unquote men. These two have the two coolest gimmicks of all the superheroes. The most badass superhero is the most controversial one. This guy has an entire documentary, unlike the others. This guy has an entire documentary. He calls himself Phoenix Jones. This guy had his own superhero team, the Rain City Fight Club, and this guy was the most badass one, being a professional MMA fighter for the World Series of Fight organization, and also chasing down a car thief, pistol whipping a guy with a knife, and just legitimately putting himself in danger and legitimately actually fighting crime, earning the support and praise of a bunch of people, but also earning the scorn from a bunch of people, especially law enforcement, who claimed he was endangering himself and everyone else. Everyone, quote unquote, else. This guy was an actual vigilante. I applaud what these guys can do, and I feel they're needed, because when it comes to cops, yes, some cops like these guys, but there's those cops who don't like these guys. And you understand, you need vigilantes, you need other groups of people. Cops can't be everywhere. You need real life superheroes, real life Avengers, Justice League, Naruto, G.I. Joe style of people just specifically made to deal with other people, because cops, like I said, they can't be everywhere at once. So that's why these people are quote unquote needed. So yeah, this was just the introduction to both of those videos, to both of those quote unquote videos, the real life superheroes, and the salute of I did two individual videos for one for the real life superheroes, and the other one for the predator poachers and the CC unit, and also mentioned the child predator and pedophile fighters and CC unit in the superhero movie. So the predator poachers and the predator, child predator and pedophile fighters have both have two quote unquote versions. Well, yeah, I talk longer than I wanted to. You don't hear I talk longer than I wanted to. The links will be in the description box below. Alright, I'm ready. Alright, I'm getting out of here.